What is going on, college football fans? It is KspadeTheProspect. I'm back today with a brand new episode of It's All About the U, and we're going to start this thing off looking at the Heisman watch after that 220-yard rushing performance. The whole nation talking about Mark Walton. I knew all he needed was one game, one big game, so that, everybody will be on board. So you guys see that's one thing we got to keep, in the back of our mind, because we got to make sure Mark Walton is getting his touches. He got to get his yards. We want to send this kid off with a Heisman. That's going to be big for the university. It's going to be big for recruiting too. Now, let me show you what we're doing in the top 25 polls, man. We are top 10. 6, matter of fact. Got what? 3 undefeateds ahead of us. Clemson, Ole Miss, and Boise State. I think we're in a real good spot. But I don't want to jump ahead and start thinking about what's going to happen when we run into the Clemson Tigers or any of that other mess. Because this week, we are on the road to do battle against our most hated rivals, the Seminoles of Florida State. It is raining. We used to this rain down here in South Florida. It is raining. We'll do a little intro, man. I'll meet you guys at the coin toss. Okay, let's get it. Folks, the rain is falling down, but it's going to take more than some rain to make these fans stay inside and miss this game. You got Canes, you got Noles. That's teams of players that probably was rivals in high school. Some of them was teammates in high school, and everybody on the field is going to bring their A game today. Canes win the coin toss, elect to defer into the second half, so this is our first look at DeAndre Francois in this Florida State offense. Now, Francois has been chopping up opposing defenses all season long. The Canes want to blitz. Early on, they want to try their best to limit his time in the pocket to see if they can cool off the hot hand of this kid. Right here, he hooks up. Nice drag route. Now, look now, the Florida State offensive coordinator knows what's coming, so they are dialing up a lot of quick reads for Francois. This is going to be a big issue. 1st and 10 right here, they run it. Look at the running back, Dedrick Lane, cutting to the outside, cut on the afterburners, and disappears into the end zone. Look, once he got outside, I already knew what it was. Both of these schools recruit a lot of talent at running back. You already know, man. Florida got some of the, look, the speed is in Florida. We know that, right? Florida got some of the fastest players in the nation, and it was put on display right there. Now, if we're going to talk running backs, I cannot let you guys get away without hearing about the Miami Hurricanes running back, Mark Walton, coming off a 220-yard rushing performance. Now, let's see how Miami decides to play this thing out. You don't want to just come out and just go to your cash cow every single play. You can, but this Florida State team is really good. You got to mix up your attack, and I like what the Canes come out and do. They attack the air a couple of times, picking up some yards through the air. Then they try to get Mark Walton going. Right here with a 5-yard carry. That brings up a 2nd and short. Miami dials up the quick slant. The pressure is on, but I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Josh Horney loses the pressure, gets out of the pocket. 25-yard scramble on a play that should have been a sack. Josh Horney is probably the fastest quarterback I've ever seen since Mike Vick. This dude is crazy fast, though. Comes back on 1st and 10. Hooks up with true freshman tight end Scott Jackson. 14 yards on the pickup. Scott tried his best to get into the end zone. Couldn't get in. He brings up a 1st and goal from inside the 5. You know what's coming, right? Of course it's a run. This time it's sneak. Let's go. It's all about the U. It's all about the U. It's all about the U. You say it. Leak said he ready. One more year, Leak. One more year. 7-7 is your score, still very early in this football game with 3 minutes on the clock, still left in the first quarter. Both of these teams came out and showed the opposing defense that their offense was about that action. Now, at some point, somebody's got to make a stop. To me, the game don't start until one of these teams has to punt the football off, and I don't know when that's going to happen. 1st and 10 for Francois. They try to go man defense because they're blitzing. The tight end was out, and Jaquan Johnson gets back just in time to bring the tight end down. He brought him down on the goal line, though. Now, the defense so far has stood tall, made a stop on 1st down. That was a stop right there on second down. Here we go, 3rd and goal. They try to hand it off, and Dedrick Lane gets stopped before he can pass the line of scrimmage. Big time stop for the Cane defense, but hold up, look at this. The trickeration, they go for it on 4th down. Play action pass, throw it to the fullback in the end zone. Touchdown, no. I don't know, man. I mean, if you're the Miami defense and you make that stop, you probably thinking the field goal unit's coming out. But like I said, man, these two teams hate each other. Of course, they going for the juggler early. 14-7 is the score. Josh Horn takes a strike in the area of Lawrence Cager. It is picked off. I don't even think that was a bad pass. We got to see that again. That was an amazing interception. This guy had his eye on the ball, saw it the whole time, jumped the pass perfectly. This could get ugly. I said the game don't start until somebody has to punt. I think a turnover counts too. Francois drops back the pass on 1st and 10. He's wrapped up by the Cane defense, thrown down 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. The edge rushers that Miami got, man, they top tier, both of them. 2nd and 17. Oh, man, beautiful pass. Almost deflected by the Canes defender instead. That's a risky play, man. You end up giving up a big gain of yards. You got the Noles in the red zone again, and they score with ease. Oh my, 21-7 Noles. It's still time, it's still early, but you gotta admit, right now the Noles have scored every single time their offense has been on the field. That's a tad bit concerning. 2nd and 5, Josh Horn beating the defense with his arm. That's what we want to see him do more of. 2nd and short, later in that drive. Here's another quick pass, this time to the tight end Scott Jackson for 6. Scott Jackson has really had a quiet year up until the last couple of weeks. The last 2 or 3 weeks, he's been the best tight end in the nation. You can tell anybody. I don't care who get mad. Scott Jackson, tight end of the year. Anyway, 21-14, folks. Francois back in that pocket. The man is dancing around in that pocket like he got tap dancing shoes on. He feels the pressure, really doing a good job of manipulating the pocket, stepping up when he needs to, buying more time. And look at Dedrick Lane right here, jumping to the outside again, this time really good defensive presence to just get in his way, force him out of bounds before he destroys the defense for yet another big play. Several Canes swarm to the football before Junior makes the stop, but on 3rd and 9, Francois throws a laser into the back of the end zone. Touchdown, Noles. Kevin Gaddis started this game off a little bit slow. Seems like he's definitely putting something together right now. Canes better keep an eye on that kid. He is eating. Folks, we're here with 4 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter. Noles sitting on a 14-point lead. They got to feel real good about it, but hold on. Don't get too happy too soon, Noles. Mark Walton with one of his big-time runs. We're used to seeing this guy break at least one of these a game, and at the end of that run, he was just giving somebody the right hand of fellowship. Look at Scott Jackson. I just spoke on this. The true safety tight end, Scott Jackson, going up to the clouds to snatch one down. Canes back on the board with another score, 28-21. And that'll be your score going into the half. 28-21. Canes get it back in the 3rd with an opportunity to tie this game back up. Hey, if you're a Noles fan, don't get too happy yet. Don't get too happy. Matter of fact, let's jump down on the field. Let's see what's going on. Miami definitely needs to make sure Walton get his touches. And I'm not talking about for the Heisman. I'm talking about to wear this defense down, to eat a little bit of clock, to tire this defense out, and maybe, just maybe, get them safeties to creep up in the box a little bit. That'll open up the passing game later. Play action pass here on 2nd down. Horn has time in the pocket. Nobody's open. You know what he's going to do. Horn takes off with it before he is even touched, man. That man got the 1st down easily. Easily. 2nd and goal inside the 5. Horn drops back, waiting on the quick slant. Took the receivers too long to get off the jam. Horn said, I'll keep it myself. Horn's in the end zone. It's a tie ball game. Josh Horn, look, he is one of those players that he see this big game as an opportunity to shut up naysayers. When I tell you this kid wants to have a great game over there, it ain't no fear in his heart, y'all. That dude want it. We got a tie game, man. This game is exactly what it built up to be so far. Neither of these teams got any quit in them. Nobody's going to lay down. Somebody's going to have to want it, and they're going to have to want it more than the opposition. 1st and 10. Francois drops back to pass. He's got time. He's taking a strike. It's one-on-one. Oh my God, it's got us again. Come on, Canes.
Forget it. He's on the other end once again for his third touchdown catch.
This receiver has just been...
It was somebody there. Oh, that's ridiculous. One-on-one, you want to see better coverage than that. That's just a jump ball. He just threw it up in the air, and that was terrible defense. 35-28 is your score. Miami offense back on the field. You know they want to answer that, but actually they don't. First time we seen a punt, and it's here late in the game in the third quarter. So Miami punts this thing off. Francois back on the field. You know he wants to seize the moment. He wants to seize the moment. Trust me. Second and long, though. Francois dropping back the pass. Quick read across the middle. Oh, my God, what a hit. Somebody check on him. You good? We got to see that again. Hold on, hold on. Look at this, look at this. Look. Boom. Boy. Third and a very manageable 6 for the Noles. They good, man. They going to come back, check it down into the flats. And I think that's a fullback. Vince King, he gets 8 or 9 yards on the play. Gonna get the first down. Gonna continue to drive. Folks, we're here in the fourth quarter now. Put your fours in the air. Put them up. Put them up high. Florida State offense still driving this football. Over 120 yards rushing for Dedrick Lane. I know he got like 80 on the first carry, but great defense by the Canes. They're going to stop the Noles and force these guys into a field goal, which they make easily. So we got a 10-point game, 5 minutes on the clock. Hey, man, got to go to the air right here. Got to go to the air or not. What do I know? Josh Horn keeps it right here. Picks up the first. That's going to stop the clock in case the Canes want to go no huddle, which we don't see the Canes do a lot of. They don't do a lot of that. But, of course, you got to play the clock. And the Canes seem to be super comfortable. They're still running the football. Mark Walton with the carry right there. Now they come back, play action on 1st and 10. Throwing across the middle. That's Scott Jackson again. Scott is having a breakout game and probably the biggest game so far of his young career. 3rd and 8. They go across the middle and Scott again diving in the end zone. Touchdown, Canes. 3-point football game, 3 minutes on the clock. Defense, you gave us one stop, kinda, with the field goal. We need another one. We need another one from this defense. 2nd and short for the Noles. Francois stays in the gun, by the way. I just noticed that. Quick read over to the sideline. Cantrell with the catch. He's broke down after a 14-yard pickup. 1st and 10 Noles. Gonna have to let these guys catch those. Oh, Junior, Sabap. That should have been a pick. I was just saying, you're going to have to let the underneath stuff go. You don't want to take the chance of getting beat deep. Was that Junior? Man, let me tell you something. Ray Lewis Jr. ain't playing. And look what the Canes do, folks. They forced the Noles to punt for the first time today. That's here in the 4th quarter. And it is set up for Josh Horn and this Miami offense to be great. Be great, Josh. Be great. 2nd and 5 for Horn. He drops back, rolls out the pocket, decides to keep it. Cuts it upfield, takes a hit at the end of that play. Josh, please don't fumble, fam. Please. Comes back and hits his favorite target of the day, Scott Jackson, straight down the seams. 22 yards on the pickup. 15 seconds on the clock. Miami has 1 timeout left. They go across the middle to John Rice. We haven't called his name very much today, but he was right there when they needed him. That's 4 catches for 70 yards on the day. I see it. 10 seconds on the clock. Miami elected not to use a timeout. They go no huddle, rush them back to the line. Josh Horn takes the snap, hands it off to Walton. Walton's in the end zone. I think that's a ball game, folks. That's your ball game. Noles, look, I got a little message for the Noles and the Noles fans because it's going to be some Noles fans here in the comment section. I got a message for y'all. It don't matter how much you try. I don't care how hard you practice. As long as I got the controller in my hand, you're never going to be good enough to best the Canes. Never. Anyway, folks, that is all I got for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. I'm on cloud 9. I feel great over here. If you did, do me a favor, drop that like. If you new, go ahead and hit subscribe, and I'm out till next time, folks. Peace.